which one is camera and which one is phone? How about here? And what about here? If you know right away, then good eye, because on some shots even I had hard time telling which one is which, having shot them myself. Smartphone cameras are getting crazy good, but can they compete with dedicated mirrorless camera? Today we're putting Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra up against Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. We're gonna compare auto modes, manual modes, audio, photos, stabilization, slow motion, vlog, and low light, and see which one is the best for content creators, vloggers, and filmmakers. S25 Ultra boasts 200 megapixel main camera sensor, AI-powered computational photography, and up to 8K video recording. For full review, click here. Meanwhile, ZV-E10 Mark II has 24 megapixel APS-C sensor, interchangeable lenses, up to 4K 60 FPS recording with Sony's new AI autofocus. Also, for in-depth review, click here. For fair comparison, I'll be using both devices as they are. I'll be using Sony ZV-E10 Mark II only with its kit lens, no additional lenses, filters, gimbals, or microphones. Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra costs $1,300, while Sony ZV-E10 Mark II costs $1,100 with kit lens. This kit lens is 16 to 50 OSS variable aperture lens. First, let's compare auto modes. I've set everything on auto. Camera A is Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and camera B is Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Let me know in the comments if you guessed correctly. At first glance, these two footages look really similar. I was really surprised when I saw them side by side. I haven't done any post-processing on these footages, both are straight out of the camera. But if we look closer, we can see that Samsung has a bit more saturation. Reds and greens are more vibrant here, and in highlights more colors are preserved due to HDR10, as we can see on these buildings in the background. But mostly I could tell the difference by over-sharpened look on Samsung, while Sony is softer and more natural. Colors during the day are very similar. I'm really impressed with how phone holds up with the camera. But then I started walking, and here's where we see our first big difference, the stabilization. Even without super steady mode on, Samsung's stabilization is amazing, while ZV-E10 Mark II does not have internal image stabilization. I was using the lens stabilization, and as you can see, it's not nearly as good as Samsung. Sony does have active stabilization, it's software-based, and it's really good, but it crops in quite a lot, so at least we have that. Next, I tested out autofocus, and both are really good. I have no complaints with any of them. Both are fast, precise, and reliable. No complaints. Now let's see internal microphones. This is how internal microphones sound on Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and this is how internal microphones sound on Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. What do you think? Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Both are usable in my opinion. Even though I prefer Samsung's a little bit more, it has a bit richer sound I think, but I would still be using external microphones. Either small on-camera shotgun mics like Rode Video Micro 2 or lavalier mics like DJI Mic Mini. Let's test out vlogging now. I'm walking, I have arm extended to full length. Now I have it normally. So what do you think? I have lens stabilization on Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, and Samsung has its own stabilization, but the con of Samsung is that you have to use a front-facing camera for vlogging, which is usually not as good as rear cameras. So which one do you prefer? Sony or Samsung? I think both work well in this vlogging situation, but if you want smoother footage on Sony, you have to turn on active stabilization on. Now I have active stabilization on Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. The footage is way smoother now because it has great active stabilization, but it crops in, so whichever you prefer. If you want a bit shakier camera but wider angle, and you can use lens stabilization. In good lighting conditions, both look very good, and I'll be using any of them. But if you want more cinematic vlog with blurrier background, then on Sony you have an option to add the lens with lower f-stop like 2.8 or maybe 1.4, add an ND filter, and then you'll get that look. And speaking of cinematic, let's talk about pro modes. Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra can record in log profile. Log video captures flat, low contrast, desaturated look that helps preserve details in both bright and dark areas, giving filmmakers more control in color grading. I captured both in 4K 60 FPS. Slow motion looks very good on both. Samsung Log is way easier to color grade compared to normal mode. It has 10-bit colors as you can see here. But Sony's S-Log 3 is much better to work with. But after some tweaking you can get similar looking footage on the phone, which just saying it impresses me. Makes me wish I had this when I was starting out more than a decade ago. Now let's compare photos. Again, I shot both in auto mode. And right out of the camera, without any editing, colors are better on the phone. Processing on the phone is very good these days. Look at this portrait mode, how the details on the hair is cut out. Impressive, Samsung. But having the lens gets you this natural bokeh, which you don't have on the phone. Saying that, I still prefer the photos from the phone. If you reached this far into the video, then consider subscribing because I have a lot of fun videos coming up. And finally, let's test low light. Here's where things get interesting. In terms of low light, as you can see, sun is going down. It's not completely dark yet, but you can see that this phone is starting to struggle a bit because of the sensor size, of course. Phone has way smaller sensor size than the camera. And I have both of them set on auto again, but the camera has now opened the aperture. As you can see the blurrier background here because the lens is opened up. The phone is cranking up brightness to compensate, but it introduces the noise and then it denoises it. And so it's a lot of stuff going on the background. While on the camera, as you can see, it's more natural look, and well, during the low light, the camera will always have the advantage of the bigger sensor. But when I switched to rear main camera on Samsung, I noticed that footage is way cleaner than the selfie camera. And also I've noticed that both cameras set white balance differently. Sony has more warmer tone, while phone has cooler tone. But if you have any kind of light like these street lights, then the phone is totally usable. I can't believe how far we've come in terms of phone cameras. I think for everyday use, nothing beats the phone. It's convenient, it's great quality, and has great stabilization. You have no idea how much client work I've done with this phone this last few months, and nobody has ever questioned the quality. So bad news for some of you. No more excuses. So grab your phone and start creating. But on the other hand, if you need interchangeable lenses, bigger sensor size, mic input, headphone jack, natural background blur, then there is no better option for $1,100 than ZV-E10 Mark II. Let me know in the comments what you're using, a camera or a phone, or which one would you buy, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra or Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. Also, let me know what video you would like to see next, and I'll try my best to fulfill your requests. It rhymed. So if you like this video, then you would love these videos over here. So click on any one of these, and thank you for watching and subscribe for more.